Plan the perfect wedding in just one day. Come to the Mid-South Wedding Show on Sunday at the Germantown Center from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Find out how to get free or discount tickets, plus a lot more at WMCTV.com.
You know, a lot of brides opt for outdoor weddings, but speaking of weddings, let's go and see what Val's up to.
Yeah, and you know, planning your wedding is a huge, big deal. This weekend, an event that's basically one-stop shopping. Shelly Kelly, that's really your name, right?
It is.
Shelly Kelly joins me to talk about the Mid-South Wedding Show that's Sunday at the Germantown Center, and you brought some models and some gorgeous dresses with you, too.
I did. They do look beautiful.
A lot of folks are opting for the destination weddings now, and our first model, she's wearing the type of dress that might be good. Now tell me about the dress and why it would be so good for destination.
Well, Jennifer's wearing a slender line Maggie Sotero gown. It's an antique lace style with a detachable train.
Beautiful.
It's a slender line and easy to pack and transport, which is what makes it, it's not a lot to deal with when you're traveling.
You won't have to re-steam it or re-iron it or anything.
Right.
Okay, we're already on our second one. Okay, they're rushing us over here. Let's see. Tell me about this gown, the second. That's beautiful, too.
Okay, Sam is wearing a private collection gown of a vintage look lace with a tip of the shoulder neckline. It's really beautiful in a two-tone lace, champagne on ivory.
You know, I think brides today don't like the big, huge bell skirts as much as maybe we used to.
No, they're opting for a more slender fitted close to the body line because most of the brides, a lot of the brides are a little bit older and a little bit more sophisticated. And
that is beautiful. And they all have the detachable train too, right?
No, they don't all have that.
Okay.
That's a feature that some of them have.
Okay, and we have one more bride that's modeling the gown. This is very pretty.
Paulette's wearing a formal Italian satin gown with heavy embroidery and the crystal beading and all of that. It's really, it's still a very popular look with the full ball gown style skirt and the long train.
There we see that. It's a gorgeous skirt. It's a very romantic look, isn't it?
It is.
Will there be models modeling the dresses at the bridal show this Sunday?
There will be. There'll be a fashion show that starts at 4 o'clock, and these two dresses are only a small sampling of the styles that you'll be able to see.
So this would be perfect for maybe the bride who's not sure where she wants to go at all with the gown. She doesn't have a clue. You know, or maybe if she thinks she does, she might see something else that catches her fancy.
That's true. She really just needs to come and try on after she looks at all of the different kinds of styles that are out there and available.
Okay, now the bridal show, gorgeous model brides this morning. The bridal show is Sunday at the Germantown Center, and that's on Germantown Road off of Exeter. Now, if you want to bargain, folks, you can pre-register and save $2. It costs $10 at the door, or you can pre-register for $8. Go online to myfoxmemphis.com. We will have a link to midsouthweddingshow.com. Thank you so much, Shelly, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
I know you've got a busy few days leading up to this show.
It is your big day, and when it comes to planning a wedding, one of the biggest decisions you'll make is the location. Location. Location.
It's important. Traditional church weddings will never go out of style. But if you're looking for something a little different, there are plenty of cool places around town where you can tie the knot. And Kirk Houston is the producer of the Mid-South Wedding Show. It's going to be going on this weekend, but he's here to tell us about some of those unique places. So there are a lot of different venues, right?
Well, today now brides are looking for different ideas for their weddings. You know, there's the old getting married in the church and having the reception in the basement. Is a lot of people still do that, but now people are looking for something a little bit different, a little bit more modern for their wedding.
So, Kirk, does that backdrop have to be almost perfect, very unique these days? Does it have to be reflective of the couple, you know, as well?
And it has to be unique to fit their taste, to fit their personality. And of course, it has to be perfect because the bride wants nothing less on her wedding day.
Definitely so. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pictures that we've taken from right here and some places around the Mid-South. Right now, it seems like we're looking in the Mud Island area.
That's River Terrace on Mud Island. They can seat up to 400 people here. This is a beautiful riverside setting in the heart of downtown Memphis. The great thing about it is it's also free parking. It used to be the old River Terrace Yacht Club, opened up in the early 80s, and Extreme Events Catering took it over about 5 years ago, and it became a private rental facility. In fact, they've got 2 indoor facilities over there. They got the River Terrace and the Harbor Landing, so they can accommodate up to 400 people. It's beautiful. And look at that. I mean, how would you not like to see a scene like that on your wedding day?
That is the perfect sunset right there.
Exactly.
And it continues to get even better. There's some other locations as well.
Yeah, now this is Rebecca Manor. It's located in Red Bank, Mississippi, which is only about 20 minutes down 78. It's actually 16 acres total out there of countryside. So if you're looking for a country wedding, this is perfect without having to drive an hour or 2 out into the country. They have a 2.5-acre lake surrounded by trees and wildlife, and they've got a chapel on the main floor and a reception hall on the lower level with a patio right off the reception.
Now, how popular is this location?
This is very popular for those brides that want something that's not stuck in the middle of the metro area. You know, they want to go out to the country and have a country-wise wedding without having to drive, like I said, an hour or 2 hours out to find one. So that's very beautiful. This is the Vine. Now, this has got a very interesting background on this. This was the old Idlewild Theater back in the 1940s. In the 1970s, it was the Ritz Ballroom where people like Billy Joel and Bette Miller played. In the 1990s, it was a nightclub called Fantasia, and about 5 years ago, it opened as the Vine. It's got a beautiful balcony overlooking the main ballroom floor. It's got a courtyard outside, on-site event coordinator and staff, a free parking. It also has a fully equipped DJ booth and bar area separate from the main floor and staircase.
Now, a location like this, Kirk, is probably for what type of couple? What are they looking for?
They are looking for something where they can go to have something in town without having to pay a fortune to do it.
Right,
you know.
Right. And the Vine located, I think, on Madison.
It's on Madison. That's right. It's on Madison and Midtown.
A lot of folks also want to kind of flip things up a little bit, maybe take it down on Beale Street. Pat O'Brien's?
Yeah, Pat O'Brien. Pat O'Brien's is, as you probably know, Pat O'Brien's opened up in 1933 down in New Orleans. They opened up here in Memphis in 2002. They've actually got the dueling piano bar there where guests can make requests and sing for their players. They could hold up to 750 people. Patio is a beautiful courtyard with a famous flaming fountain. They also have the Briar Suite. You can actually go up on the balconies and throw beads out to the people walking up and down Beale Street just like you're in New Orleans. So it's a beautiful place to have your wedding, and some historical place to have your wedding as well. I mean, everybody knows what Pat O'Brien's is.
So is this for the couple who kind of likes to party?
This is the couple that definitely likes to party. Now, this right here, this is the Center for Southern Folklore. They can fit up to anywhere from 60 to 250 people, and as you can see, they've got a balcony, and you can see the beautiful river, the bridge, a rooftop balcony with a sweeping view of downtown. Also, they have the folklore store, which is decorated with local folk art and contains lights and sounds and a stage. And of course, that right there is the folklore hall with the photo gallery of Memphis musicians, locals, and more. And this is a non-profit organization founded in 1972, and they're right in the heart of downtown Memphis.
Okay, well, that is great. So all of these are kind of unique places.
These are unique places. When someone is looking for something just a little bit different for their wedding day.
And you can do the actually have the ceremony and the reception.
You do the yeah, that's why we picked out these particular places for this particular segment. Was you can have your wedding there and your reception there.
And Kirk, what about affordability for most of these places?
Most of these places, you can spend anywhere from $1,000 up to $10,000, depending on the size of your wedding and basically what is ever in your budget.
Mm-hmm. Even at some of these locations, whether it's Pat O'Brien's or the Vine or Mud Island or Center for Southern Folklore, is this also for the more traditional wedding? Or,
sure. Nowadays, the traditional wedding basically is making sure they still have on their white dress and the guys have on their tuxedos, you know. And you can do, and I've been involved with a number of weddings that take place at these places. The Mud Island, when we did a Star Wars wedding this past weekend, so you can have traditional and Star Wars.
Wherever your imagination takes you, and I guess you can find out all the information about these places at the wedding show this weekend.
That's right. This Sunday at the Germantown Center, the Mid-South Wedding Show is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And of course, we have our wedding planning seminars all day long to help you plan the perfect wedding in just one day.
So did the groom show up as Darth Vader, or was it the
I was Darth Vader.
Okay. Kirk, I just wanted to get the record straight. We do appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we're going to take another short break here, and coming up...